Welcome to the Community Pharmacy New Revenue Roundtable. My name is Breck Rice. I'll be your host. I'm one of the co-founders of ServeRx, and we absolutely love community pharmacies. I've had the privilege of working with independently owned and small community pharmacy chains for over 20 years now, and it's been truly my pleasure. Love community pharmacy, love the services that are provided to our individual communities and to the families of those communities, and want to make sure that our community pharmacy partners are not just surviving in this economy, but we want to make sure that they can thrive. And so we've put together this roundtable in order to bring new solutions, new revenue generating solutions that will help our pharmacy partners. And again, like I said, we love community pharmacy, and so we'll do everything in our power to help you be successful. And so brought together some amazing programs that if you could just take one or two things today and incorporate it, I think you're going to be so much better off for it. And we have some amazing solutions. A couple of them I like to say will generate revenue for you even while you're sleeping, and I really mean that. These programs can continue to generate revenue for you even when you're taking time off with your family over the holidays, or it can generate revenue 24/7 for you by the programs that have been set up for you. So I'm excited to tell you about those. So we'll jump right into it, and we'll give you a little background of why I started these roundtables and wanting to help our community pharmacies. Is this article right here. Fortune magazine talked about how many independents had closed, and touched a little bit on why there's so many closures. And for the first time in our history of independent pharmacies, we've dipped below the 20,000 mark. And 20 some odd years ago, when I first started at the old Third Party Solutions TPS program, the profit margins were pretty good for community pharmacies, about 36%. That's a fair margin. You can live on that. But due to horrible PBM contracts and DIR fees, profit margins are much lower than that today, 3 to 5%. I was working with a community pharmacist in Atlanta that had been open for 2 years. They doubled their patients from the first year to the second year. They still weren't making any revenue. They were not even breaking even. And at those margins, if that's what you're focused on dispensing, you could quadruple your patients. You're just going to go in the hole even faster because PBMs are asking you to dispense medications below even your acquisition cost of the medication in many cases. So my philosophy is that you need to bypass the PBM any opportunity you can. Now, we're partners with every major PSAO in the country, and so I get these store updates and started to see all of these closures that were happening. And here's just some examples of some really sad ones, because Wally's was open for 80 years and had to close three locations. Tillamook, closed. They longtime pharmacy, a pharmacy that had been open for 106 years. It had to close its doors there up in the Washington area. Really sad. So this is creating what's called pharmacy deserts. I'm sure you've heard about that before. And we intend to not only provide solutions to backfill those deserts, but to make sure that our community pharmacies today are thriving. Just some other closures. Unfortunately, JetRx will close tomorrow. And then some of the other recent closures of updates that I get from our PSAO partners. Sometimes they're just closing, sometimes they're selling their files to the chain. We would hope that a community pharmacy would at least give other community pharmacies the opportunity to pick up those files and kind of keep them in independently owned community pharmacy space rather than going to the CVS's and Walgreens, but we're not quite there yet. DIR fees. This is ridiculous, right? A direct and indirect remuneration, whatever that means. All it is just simply an excuse for PBMs to claw back payments they've already made. So if you look at the increase between 2010 and 2019, over 91,000% increase. That'd be like a gallon of milk costing $3,600. Can you imagine? I mean, inflation is bad as is, but going and getting a gallon of milk for $3,000 just sounds ridiculous, and that's basically what the DIR increase has been. And so we certainly want to come up with solutions that can offset that. And one of my favorite hockey players of all times, we'll show his slide here in just a minute because he has a great quote. If you haven't seen that, for those of you that don't know, I actually spent a little bit of time up in Canada. It was a lot of fun when I was a little kid. Played Pee Wee League hockey, where your pads weigh more than the kid. There's 20 pounds a kid and 45 pounds of pads, but you're indestructible when you had that much padding on. A lot of fun, but loved Wayne Gretzky, and I'll show you his quote here in just a minute. This is a breakdown of our independent pharmacies and their focus. They're focused on dispensing revenue. Over 90% is dispensing revenue. You have got to figure out ways to make about a third of your revenue be non-dispensing revenue. And we have some solutions here to show you how to do that. First, the Wayne Gretzky quote here, though. When interviewed what made him such a great player, this is what he said. He skates to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. Let that sink in just a minute. If we are community pharmacies and we're skating to where the puck's been, we're not going to survive. And that's the same equivalent of my quote, that the biggest risk to community pharmacy today is status quo. So if you keep doing what you've always done, that's also the definition of insanity, right? And expect a different outcome. So bypass the PBMs whenever you can. The ServeRx program does that. Will, are you available and can tell us more about ServeRx program?
I am, Breck. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Like Breck said, ServeRx is a great opportunity to bring more revenue in. It is a free service for pharmacies. We have no affiliations with the PBMs, so we're able to maximize the pharmacy's reimbursement on these workman comp claims by keeping them out of the PBM networks. And as you can see right here, quick example, say a patient comes into your pharmacy, they need a meloxicam. If you was to process that meloxicam through a PBM, your pharmacy may be reimbursed, $4 to $5 generously through a PBM. But now that same medication, if the pharmacy was to adjudicate that meloxicam through ServeRx's PCN, this actually went up now. The pharmacy could be reimbursed anywhere from $101 to $105 for that meloxicam. And how ServeRx is able to do that is we reimburse the pharmacy of AWP, the state scheduled fee. So most likely the state that you're in will reimburse the pharmacy for brand medications, 85% plus a $2 dispense fee. Then for generic medications, we reimburse the pharmacy 70% plus a $2 dispense fee AWP. Again, this is a free service for the pharmacy. There's no enrollment fees, no annual fees, no monthly fees. ServeRx, we are contracted with pretty much all the PSAOs in the country. So this is a service that's available to you. I went ahead and put my information in the chat as well. You can feel free to reach out. Also, we have a live help desk that's available 7 days a week. So if the pharmacy was to receive a rejection for a claim, you can give our help desk a call. They're available 7 days a week, and they can help the pharmacy receive that paid label. Okay. Again, my contact information is in the chat, so feel free to reach out. I can help the pharmacy get set up. It is a free service.
Thank you, Will. Any questions for Will or I about the ServeRx program? Again, you're already contracted, most likely through your PSAO. If you are not using the program, you need to, because the reimbursements are 5, 6, 10x what PBMs are paying you for the same medication. unfortunately, we know you're locked into some contracts. You know, unfortunately, if you want United Healthcare, for instance, then they kind of hold you hostage and say, okay, if you want 65 million United Healthcare, you're going to take all of our networks, and so they bundle their networks together. We're feverishly working with NCPA and other organizations to try to get those networks unbundled so that you can actually get Catamaran, Cypress Care, Timesys, all of those unbundled. One PSAO has been successful at carving out the Timesys agreement too. So very exciting that they've been able to get rid of that contract. But any questions for Will? Okay. If you do, don't be bashful. You can meet Will in the chat and just chat him up there in the chat and ask for additional questions. Okay, super excited about MyRx Spark. This is one of those programs that is it'll generate revenue for you while you sleep. Absolutely amazing program, and we have John here to tell us more about that. Your pharmacy will make $50,000-$60,000 a year just completely without any additional work or effort on your part. It just happens, and we'll help it happen. But John, thanks for being here. Love for you to tell us more about the RX Spark program.
Yeah, thanks, Breck. So our background is we built WebMD back in the day, and it put the consumer in the center of healthcare. They could see their drugs and conditions and all the other good information, obviously, while they're successful. And we built several platforms doing that. We're called in by a PBM because 1 in 3 prescriptions issued by a doctor are not collected at the pharmacy, and that helps and causes problems for everyone in the chain. From the pharmacy, who doesn't put the pills in the jar, the doctor gets measured on health outcomes and medical adherence. The PBM doesn't do the adjudication, and the patient doesn't get better. And so we worried about the patient. So we looked at that and put the user there, and 95% of the competition have a dumb card that says you get 8% discount at 62,000 pharmacies, which is legally allowed to say. That's like saying there's free beer in Phoenix without telling you where the free beer is. So GoodRx, obviously the industry leader in the US, and do a relatively good job. The second, so again, we needed real-time pricing, and we've added optional services and products onto that, so it becomes a health platform, not a pharmacy platform. So at point of care, if people haven't got a prescription, then we can whip them to a telehealth platform. If they need a lab, we can put them to labs if needed. But the problem is pricing. And so there's so much money that's lost in the system. And that's why we've started to strip that out. We all know about NADAC pricing, and then the PBMs take that as a guideline and add 20, 30, 40, 50% on to that price. So there's your first inflated price. The PBMs charge an average of $7 for adjudication. There's your second problem. And obviously the pharmacy and the PBM have a tempestuous relationship where the PBM agree a price for putting pills in a jar with the pharmacy, and then there's clawbacks, et cetera, et cetera. So we've negotiated with a PBM called Capital to strip all that out. They use NADAC pricing. They only charge $1.99 for adjudication, and they've got a very clean relationship with the pharmacy, specifically the community pharmacy. And what does that mean? The pharmacy discount platforms, 350 drugs are the 95% used. Of the 350 drugs, we're 95% cheaper than GoodRx. So 95 out of 100 times we're cheaper than GoodRx, and the other 5 were either the same or very, very close. So by stripping that pricing out, we then offer clients the best price in the marketplace. And we make money. We make money from the PBM, we make money on products, we make money on services. So we've created a product called MyRx Spark. And that's really completely aimed at community pharmacies, where they get a unique MyRx Spark site for every community pharmacy. They make more money than just putting pills in the jar. They make money on additional from the share of the PBM money we make. They make money on the products and services. And that's just with their clients. The layer then says that they can go and put posters and cards in their community, at community centres, at churches, at clinics, at doctors' offices. And that is their number. Whatever happens, whoever uses that card at any of those facilities, the community pharmacy earns from that. The users can tell their friends and family about the service. Again, we know which community pharmacy out of the 20,000 there are, who that pharmacy is. Therefore, we know which user and which family and which friend. And those family and friends more than likely aren't going to be in the community where the community pharmacy is. They could be anywhere in the States. And when they use that card, then the community pharmacy gets paid. So the layers are within here. And the power is that I can create a MyRxPart card individually for 22,000 community pharmacies. And they go out by giving posters out and cards out and telling their existing clients about the service. And that's what we've built. So as Breck says, you can earn from this while you're asleep. Yeah, if you're in Nebraska and their friends are in Ohio, then they use the card, you're earning while you're asleep. So I quite like that as a strap line. Has anybody got any questions?
So this YouTube link also explains that more. I'll post that in the chat here as well, so that you can just click on the live link for it. And then, John, there's only about what 10% of the patients that are using like the GoodRx.
Well, yeah. Again, we're surmising how many people use a pharmacy discount card. But if you look at the two key numbers that we look at, 60-odd million Americans are uninsured. Therefore, they need a pharmacy discount card. And 62% of people who have insurance have a high deductible policy where it could be $200 for the deductible and only $10 at the community pharmacy for the drug. So there's a massive reach out there. We actually don't know the actual physical number of users using the card at a community pharmacy, but we can do that research.
You know, I guess you're just basically transitioning that 10% that are on another card onto this, and then you still have 90% of your patients that you can continue to adopt and bring into this program.
Yes. So again, if they want to stay where they are, conversely, if it's cheaper than GoodRx and cheaper than everybody else, then they should use our service. Again, it's just not being aggressive. It's just hopefully doing the right things by the consumer and the right things by the community pharmacy.
Okay, so in the chat, I've put that link there a couple of times. So it's a live link. Just click on that, and you can get the little explainer video. Very nice, well put together video that they have on this program. But extremely excited about this because again, it's just passive revenue for our pharmacy partners, and we have a system to help you get your patients enrolled too. The other program that operates quite a bit like that is the back up here a little bit is the home health test. This is kind of like the HIMSS approach for a topic that isn't, can be kind of embarrassing for patients to check on, and that's the STIs or STDs. This is actually a public health issue right now. I wasn't aware of this until it was brought to my attention, but there are 12 million new cases per year. That's like 33,000 cases a day. And of the majority of the age range is college age. And so if your pharmacy is anywhere near a college, university, or anywhere that young adults gather, this is something that should be made available for them. And similar concept, your pharmacy is assigned a unique QR code, and the pharmacy QR code can be posted, around the campus, at the laundromats, whatever. Whenever that is scanned, they can have a fulfillment company actually drop ship the home test to their dorm or their apartment discreetly, just like I said, like the HIMSS approach. or they can also pick up the test from your pharmacy as well. Regardless of whether they buy the test from the pharmacy or the fulfillment company drop ships it to them, your pharmacy still gets the margin on that. So it's $10 to $15 per test that comes back to the pharmacy. So want to make sure that you guys get enrolled in that program when it comes. It should have launched already, but the first tests that were sent from manufacturing weren't the packaging just wasn't at the quality that they were expecting, and so they sent the whole thing back to get redone. And they're doing all of the resourcing here stateside, so none of this is coming out of China or anything like that. So unfortunately, it has taken a little bit longer to launch than they would have liked. But we'll get you more information on that to come. Any questions to this point? Please feel free to use the chat. You can throw them up there, and we'll respond to them. So want to invite one of my friends, Scott Lampier, to talk about his product. This is an amazing technology in germ killing. Germs RX is his company, and I'm a firm believer in this product. I use it anytime that I travel or in public places. You know that I've got my shield protection. I'll take one of their wipes. They're fairly large. Take out one wipe, I can wipe down both of my grandkids with one wipe, head to toe, and I know they're protected, and I know it's safe because it's water-based technology that gives us 4 hours of protection. If the FDA says it's 4 hours, it must last 5 or 6 hours. So any plane flight that I go on with my grandkids, I've got my shield all over them, and the airplane tray table, seat belts, armrests, everything that I know they're going to play with. So Scott, sorry, I hope I didn't take too much time, but
well,
it's an amazing product.
You've heard my spiel so much, you've got it down for sure. I want to keep this short and sweet. See, there's so many great things that we're going over today, but some really serious business, because we've got flu coming, more different kinds of COVID or RSV coming. There's a lot of things that we need to protect ourselves from. So this is going to become more and more important to make sure that you actually are protecting yourself, because the alcohol-based hand sanitizers just don't do what they say they do, or the misunderstanding. So with this technology, you're actually creating a microscopic barrier on your surfaces, whether it's your skin or countertops or clothes. I have a laundry additive that puts virus and bacteria fighting things in your clothes, and it lasts for many washes. We're negotiating with the EPA on how many actual washes we're able to say on the label, but the main thing is that it lasts for 4 hours if you're talking about the hand sanitizer, or longer. Like Breck said, the antimicrobial disinfectants, actually on the label it will say 28 days, because the EPA says that we can finally say that. So just like Breck alluded to, the FDA saying if it lasts 4 hours, it really lasts longer. So 28 days without reapplication is the same thing with the disinfectant. Again, water-based. It's got a very durable covalent bond mechanism to it. It's kind of like us guys, we work with epoxy part A, part B. Separately, that you can do whatever, but once you put it together, it's locked in there. It's kind of like the same way with this product. And the topical wound care situation, I'm getting some really good inquiries and some traction with the elderly care facilities, long-term care, skilled nursing facilities, especially with the diabetic population that we have. They get sores very easily, and cellulitis, and so whether you have burns or wounds like that, it really speeds up the healing process, because the body doesn't have to worry about fighting off infection any longer. And then there's a picture of the smaller travel wipes. So we have the huge one that Breck was showing you, that you can get 2 grandkids out of it. So the other thing is that, if you're talking about toddlers and stuff, you can wipe their hands and faces and legs, and when they're out in the backyard, you don't know if they're going to play with dog poop or whatever. So toddlers are very kind of like the gatherer of germs, and then when they go to school, they touch each other, and they're got colds, and this is a way to actually cut down on how sick the whole family gets, because whatever the kids get, the parents get, or the older brother and sister get, and just as a circle that we can make a difference on. And then the last thing is generating money for the pharmacies. There hasn't been anything really terrifically new in a long time to fight germs, and this is a way you can get behind something that's FDA approved and EPA registered, and you can make some pretty decent margins on it, and we can educate how it works very straightforwardly, and it is a terrific product to get behind.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. Yeah, toddlers are like little petri dishes, right? They're just running around picking up every little bacteria item. So, any questions for Scott and the MyShield product? Well, please take those into the chat if you do have additional questions.
I put my email in the chat too. So
excellent. And then Andy G, this might work really well with the wound care project because of the covalent bond. So once you have your process in place or your team's process in place, this creates a covalent bond that will make sure that no one outside infections can enter that area. So really cool project.
we've actually been talking a little bit, Brett.
Oh, good deal. Excellent. Next up is a really fun product. Man, this takes me back to my 80s childhood and the old Pop Rocks. That was so much fun. And then you had the crazy kids that would, put a mouthful of Pop Rocks and then drink soda on top of that so they could really get the fizz going. I'm pretty sure that some feelings got blown out doing crazy things like that. But this product was introduced here on the Roundtable, and then Jonathan took it and did the official launch at the NCPA meeting, and he had to start putting people on the waiting list because he got all of the stores that he needed to get in that first day of the conference. So it was amazing. So Jonathan, tell us more about the Pop Rocks or the Breath Rocks. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right, Breck. Just the response to this product has been phenomenal. I mean, literally, after having given this product to hundreds and hundreds of pharmacies, I have one pharmacy that's ever said they didn't get rave reviews, from folks. So it's just a great product. What Breath Rocks is it's a popping breath mint. It's basically sugar-free Pop Rocks with zinc, as you were mentioning. And how this product works is it works basically in three ways. First, the zinc is actually neutralizing the gas in our mouth that causes bad breath. Secondly, all that popping that's going on, it's activating the saliva in your mouth. And the third thing is all those little pieces, as you're kind of rubbing them around your mouth, it's actually scrubbing your teeth and your gums. So it's really a product that, as you were saying, Breck, it's fun, it's flavorful, but it's functional. And that function kind of happens in three ways. So this product, it's been on the market in the QVC and HSN space. About a year ago, I was able to come onto the project. We acquired the brand. We've updated the brand. We've launched through independent pharmacies. And we're doing a $5 million crowdfunding campaign to kind of capitalize on all the excitement that people have with this product. So we actually start shipping on Friday to our pharmacies. We have about 100,000 bottles that'll start to be going out. So it's just it's been fantastic. We've got some pharmacies, a handful of our investor pharmacies that have got product on the shelf, and they're like, man, we don't even have to talk about it. It just sits there at the checkout counter. People look at it and they buy it, and they come back and they want more because it's such a fun, addictive product. So this product, the pharmacies, they pay $1.74 for it. It retails for $3.49. So you kind of have that 100% margin, that keystone margin. And this product, again, it's just so fantastic when people try the product. And what's really important for me is it's not just a breath mint, but it's actually a tool that pharmacies can use to build their community, to build their relationships with their providers, things like that. As I've mentioned, I mean, this little product, it's so fantastic. And if you're a pharmacy you're not Dunkin' Donuts. So why are you bringing donuts to these physicians to try to build a relationship? Bring them Breath Rocks because it's great. It actually is a product that you sell, and it also helps deal with some of the side effects of the medications that they're prescribing. So if people got dry mouth, this is a fantastic product for them. In fact, one of our investor pharmacies, Mark Ost of Eric's RX in Philadelphia area, last Saturday they had a big community event. They were doing vaccinations. They had their state senator there. They had a bunch of Breath Rocks. People were just loving the product. You've got kids who are getting vaccinations and they were scared about getting their flu shot. Well, you give them a little bit of Breath Rocks. They're all excited about what's this going on in their mouth, and then boom, they get jabbed. So it's just a great product. And what we've been able to do as part of our deepening commitment to independent pharmacy is we've actually been raising a seed loan. And so at this point right now, we've raised almost $300,000 of this $650,000, and all of our investors are great independent pharmacists, many of whom plus we've got a convenience store owner and a medical supply folks. And what their investment has allowed us to do is allowed us to go into production for this first 100,000 bottles. We're right now getting started on our next run of 300,000 bottles. But yesterday, a network of 600 independent convenience stores in Austin, they're calling and saying, hey, when can we want to place an order of at least 100,000 bottles. So the demand is really there. So that's why we've been raising these funds to be able to go into the second and then the third round of production. And what's been interesting about our funding is we understand that pharmacies are not typically investing outside of their pharmacy in their community. So our seed loan is designed that we pay back that loan from our product sales and from our $5 million crowdfunding, but then they also still get equity, kind of get an extra metric on top of their equity. So they're able to get their cash back in a shorter amount of time, but still be able to share kind of in our upside. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. But if anything, the most important thing is just really get this product in the hands of your patients. It's just such a fun, addictive product that solves problems for people. And really, I think is the more pharmacies use this, the more they're going to come back to us and say, here's how I'm using it here, and here's how I'm using it there. And so it's not just a breath mint; it's really a tool to help grow your pharmacy, which is what we're all about here with the community roundtable. So, any questions? Happy to answer them.
All right, amazing flavors too. We did a little podcast when we were at NCPA, and the host Todd Irwin had it in his mouth, and he held it up to the microphone so you could hear the popping. It was kind of fun, but incredible success story in bringing a new product into community pharmacies that's created a lot of buzz and excitement and created some additional revenue through sales, of course. So Jonathan's information will be up in the chat. Please connect with him if you have any questions or want to get on the waiting list to get this brought into your pharmacy. So next up, we have one of our secondary wholesalers. They're considered a secondary wholesaler, but I know pharmacies that use them as their primary because their pricing is so good. And here to tell us more about that is Jessica.
Thank you, Breck. Hello, everyone. So just a little bit of background. I've been in the business side, account management, dealing with my, independent pharmacies, long-term care facilities for the past 20 years. I used to work for some of the bigger guys with the rebate bottles and things of that nature. And obviously, there is a need for that. But what I love about Real Value RX, and I've been with them, for almost 4 years now, is we really do focus on giving the best price available to customers. It's all about transparency in our pricing model. So that's really what kind of sets us apart. But we're also a full line generic distributor. So that's why, we are known as a secondary, but as Breck mentioned, we do also operate and facilitate a lot of our independents as a primary wholesaler as well. There's, obviously a plethora of wholesalers out there, and independents certainly have their options. But we not only focus on giving you the best price on all your retail maintenance drugs, kind of help offset, the challenges on, not getting proper reimbursements and things like that. But we also focus on items that adjudicate favorably, items that are very profitable for the pharmacy, but most importantly, they're also, better therapies for the patient. So it's really a win-win. So we try to do a consultative approach when we start a relationship, a buying relationship with our independents. We try to help you, with a crystal ball, so to speak. So we will assist you, helping market doctors. We can, create flyers for, your marketing materials, therapeutic interchange flyers as well. And, we also have a fantastic benefit check software. It's the first in its kind. It's called Easy Script RX. We are partnered with them. And again, that kind of gives you a crystal ball into coverage, so that way, you're maximizing all forms of revenue, for your pharmacy. So we're really a mix of both. You have a lot of secondaries out there currently that they only just focus on one or the other business model. They either just focus on those high adjudicating items, help you on a consultative basis that way for that niche of your business. And then you'll have your secondaries that are only in the regular retail space, which is fine, but we really maximize both ends. And that's kind of what sets us apart as a wholesaler. And then, of course, we are EDI compatible, any kind of EDI system that you're using. We certainly can acclimate to that. And then we also have next day shipping, Monday through Friday, Saturday delivery, just over 5,000 SKUs in stock at any given time. So very easy to, set up with, very easy to work with. I did leave all my contact info in the chat. So if anybody's interested, I'd love to kind of chat with you after this.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Any questions for Jessica? I hope you caught that they help you market to your providers. So they provide these marketing materials. There's a product portfolio, and it's literally a list of what's going to reimburse your pharmacy absolutely the best. This one's for pain management, but they have for other modalities as well. Pain management is what we deal with most of the time, so that's the one that we have. But yeah, they'll help you actually market this to your providers. So if you haven't looked at their program, highly encourage you to do so. And if you have any questions for Jessica, please take them to the chat there and connect with her. Devang, I didn't see him here today for Pharmacy Hub. He gave me a heads up that his wife was traveling out of the country, and he was at a school function with his kids. But I can give you a real high level overview of this program. This is also another one of the team up initiatives at NCPA. The whole initiative this year at the National Community Pharmacists Association was coming together and teaming up as community pharmacies, because collectively we are a lot stronger than any one of the national chains. And so this is a program that helps you not only have a better web presence, which there's a really sad statistic that only like 16% of our independent pharmacies have an updated website. And so this gets you a nice updated website that is using all the correct search engine optimization, and it's really easy builders, so you can just drag and drop things in. But it takes about 4 or 5 different solutions and bundles them into one. So even your patient engagement, it actually does your appointment setting for like vaccinations, your digital marketing. There's a company that where you can have a subscription, and then you kind of can set up your posts, your social media posts. All of this is incorporated in Pharmacy Hub. And so please get with me if you want more information. I'll get you connected directly to Pharmacy Hub and Devang to get more information about how to get set up on that program. We're going to be using it for outreach as well here at ServeRx as well too, because literally I can get rid of 3 other service providers and have just one, one cost instead of 5 costs for what we're doing today. So again, I'll get you contacted with him. I didn't see Chris here as well. Chris is usually here to present on BioLite. So BioLite, you now can get through your wholesalers. So McKesson, Cardinal, AmerisourceBergen all carry this now. If you don't know about this product, absolutely amazing. Developed by this doctor whose wife was going through cancer treatment, and the only thing that helped her feel better was a IV. But it didn't make sense to take her in every day to get an intravenous IV. And so he developed everything that you get in an IV in a drinkable. And now athletic teams are picking up on this because it is so much better for you. It's 550% more electrolytes than you get in a leading sports drink, but without all the sugar. They use a natural sweetener, a monk fruit sweetening. And the other thing too that's very interesting about the IV is that this also has some properties in it to help settle the stomach. So obviously with people going through cancer treatments, nausea is a really big problem. And so this has incorporated some elements to help with nausea as well. Fantastic product. Here in the desert of Arizona, it's pretty easy to get dehydrated when you're outside, and this absolutely cures dehydration just with one bottle. So amazing product. If you're not carrying it in your pharmacy, you should. It's got good profit margins. They're also coming out with a powder, which is obviously going to be easier to ship. So you just similar to the liquid IVs where you just rip off the top and pour it into a water bottle. So they'll have the powder version of this coming out real soon. So if anyone wants help getting connected to BioLite, just reach out to me. I'm happy to get you connected there. Next up, we have Gordon Health Group. Cindy's here to talk to us about her program. We not only try to bring you revenue solutions, we try to bring you also cost-saving solutions, and this is a fantastic way to help cut down on some of your premium costs. Cindy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Breck. Pharmacies that implement any or all of these excellent revenue growth concepts will quickly see more traffic in their pharmacies. And to serve these additional clients, you need extra staff, and you need to hire and retain great people so you can build the relationships with the clients, with the customers, and keep your costs down with that turnover. And a key way to be able to do this is really providing good employee benefits, and health coverage has been found to be one of the most important benefits that people look for the past number of years. And what differentiates us at Gordon Health Group is that we offer a variety of different health plans. Most insurance companies or insurance agents, they have their traditional insurance, the United Healthcare, the Blue Cross, Anthems, all of those traditional providers. And those plans are good, but they come at a cost. Whether the costs are the higher premiums, the higher deductibles. So we look at other options that could include medical cost sharing plans, indemnity plans, because we really want our clients to be informed consumers when investing in health coverage. So they need to understand the different options and the pros and cons. And to get a better understanding of the employer's needs and the employee's needs, we have meetings with everybody. So we have one-on-one meetings with the employees to really understand what are they going to use their health coverage for? What's important? Is it keeping their current doctor? Is it going to a naturopath? We can accommodate all of these things and ultimately create a really unique, customized program for the pharmacy. And when we're bringing some of these alternative types of coverages, there's really a lot of added value opportunities. So these plans can come generally about 25 to 40% cheaper than traditional health insurance options. So that not only saves the business owner money on their contribution, but it saves the employee money on their share. It also gives the business owner the flexibility to pay as much or as little to the monthly premiums. Whereas with traditional insurance, they're stuck paying 50%, and that could be really costly. And I think the final thing we sort of separate ourselves with is that we really become a part of the HR team or the administrative team with our clients. So as a pharmacy owner, you know, you don't always have the time to deal with the minutia of the health coverage, the annual renewals, the onboarding of staff, the taking people off, the answering questions, am I covered? That's where we step in and we become a partner and a part of the team to handle all of that. So the pharmacist and their team could really focus on the important parts of the business, their roles in helping the company grow. So we don't charge for our services. You know, we aim to really help people get the most value from their coverage. And we would love the opportunity to just talk to any pharmacy owners, any small businesses, to see how we can support them.
Well, thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. Any questions for Cindy? If not, please meet Cindy in the chat, and know she'll provide her contact information up in the chat for each one of you as well. So, and our very last thing we wanted to talk about here is the Fountain of Youth. I sat in on a presentation given by a doctor just yesterday, who is still approaching independence, the old model of leasing space from the independent, and then, you know, putting in like a nurse practitioner or something. It's not very much different than the program that you know, that you had with the old minute clinics, you know, where they're really just there to write a script and send you over to the pharmacy to pick up another medication. No one is really focusing on wellness. And the other thing too that was unfortunate about that program that I saw yesterday was that it was all cash based. So it really eliminates your patient population. So like Medicare patients wouldn't be able to use that other program because they have to pay like $70 a month, you know, membership kind of a fee. And, you know, Medicare patients just aren't going to do that. Well, the Fountain of Youth or FOY Therapy program takes all insurances. And so this is a new cooperative solution where the pharmacy owns the wellness center, and it's basically your MTM room. It's whatever room that you have, that a consult room or MTM room where the patient can have a private telehealth visit. And they, you know, need to have that privacy for HIPAA, but then a nurse or a medical assistant is providing all of the services. And again, it's focused on wellness. This is an amazing program. Credentialing the pharmacy so that you're doing the same amount of work. Like we have a client that did almost 10,000 flu shots last year, and their reimbursement, he averaged $17 flu shot. So his reimbursement was, you know, $167,400. After being credentialed, doing just that same amount of flu shots, it'll be just under $1 million in reimbursement. So if you want more information about this program, absolutely happy to get you connected. It's a whole like minute clinic on steroids, or clinic in a box. I'm not going to take much time to go through this. It's the medical device that's being used that helps stimulate circulation. Feel free to set up a one-on-one. I can give you a full demo on what that does, but it's the first of its kind. But I wanted to get to the revenues that are generated from this you know, minute clinic on steroids, the vaccinations that you're already doing, but getting billed fairly for them. So instead of getting, you know, $17, Here in Arizona, it's over $100 for reimbursement for the flu shot instead of 17. So it depends on the state, and it depends on which network that you're in, but it's over 80 is a pretty good number to look at. The home health test is a part of the program. The virtual care, of course, visit with a telehealth provider. Pharmacogenomics is being used in the clinic so that you can customize medication approaches, get patients off of the medication hamster wheel that's doing more damage than good, and actually make sure they're on the medications that they can actually metabolize and utilize properly. Blood analytics, this is an amazing tool using artificial intelligence. It's looking at 118 different blood markers. They literally can predict disease before disease happens. It's amazing. That's why I say this is like the MinuteClinic, but on steroids, because it's really focused on really helping patients live longer, healthier lives, and that's why it's called the Fountain of Youth. The medical device has 4 different revenue streams: the insurance billing, there's a cash pay component, there's a DME or durable medical component, and then about 1 in 10 patients just love how much better they feel that they want to actually own the device, and your pharmacy, your clinic can sell that device to them. And then there's a virtual therapy program that is coming online as well. One other that hasn't started yet, but Andy G is here and introduced me to the concept of actually providing some amazing clinical solutions dealing with diabetic patients with lesions and wound care. It's far advanced when everything else has failed. They're bringing a program that just off of 2 physician referrals, so 2 patient referrals from 1 physician per month, can generate an additional over 30,000 to the pharmacy per month. So imagine if you had 3 physicians referring 2 or 3 patients to your clinic. I mean, we're talking about real money there, $90,000, $100,000 in new revenue that you didn't have before. So I'm super excited about this program. Would be happy to do a one-on-one with any one of you and give you more of the details. It's a complete, full, end-to-end solution, all-inclusive, if you will. They even do the billing and collections for you. The average ROI or return on investment is like 3 months, 3 or 4 months, and that's only treating 2 patients a day. So obviously, you know, the sites that are already up and running are generating 35,000 a month or more, and then with the new solutions that are coming online, that'll actually double that potential revenue. Also, the other really super exciting thing about the Fountain of Youth is they are putting together a pharmacy fund. You will have your own fund. You can participate in your own fund, just like a venture capitalist. And so you can borrow from that fund and then, you know, pay back the fund. So the pharmacies who have can participate and help those who have not. Those who need to borrow from the fund, borrow, pay it back, and then they're a member of the fund. So you can continue to contribute into the fund. And now you're generating a perpetual revenue stream, not just your clinical and pharmacy revenue streams, but you'll also have a perpetual revenue stream in the pharmacy fund. Exciting stuff. This really is an exciting time we live in. As crummy as as you know, media would want you to think that the sky is falling and everything is going to hell in a handbasket. This is a really exciting time for our community pharmacies to be a part of the solution, to be a cooperative member, because collectively together we are much stronger. We have a much bigger footprint than any chain could possibly have, you know, connecting all of our independents. Once we have enough of these locations set up, then we can go to the payer community, to the self-insured employer groups, and provide, wellness solutions, A1C programs, heart health programs, all these programs that they're looking for where they'll direct their patients to your pharmacy for those services. So super excited. Did a little bit of a test pilot on this concept to see what patients were looking for and what they might be interested in this concept. And I can tell you that I have over 100,000 patients that are waiting for this. It's actually 116,000 patients that are waiting for you to open a FOY Therapy so that they can use these services. So marketing's already been started on it. And with the Health Hub solution, you'll have a wonderful outreach program that can be set up to a drip campaign to bring those patients in to your facility. So love to do a one-on-one with you. If there are any additional details that I can provide for you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here so I can put up my contact information. I think everybody knows how to get a hold of me, but just in case. Let's any questions or anything that we can answer for you at this time? We've eaten up the hour. And want to let you get back to all your other duties and responsibilities, but let me get my information up in the chat real quick. There we go. And again, on that, there'll be a Calendly link. That's a live link. You can just click on that Calendly, and we'll actually be able to find a time that we could set up and have a one-to-one and get into more of the details of any one of the solutions that we've been provided, that we've provided to you today. I want to thank all of our presenters. It's always great to have great partners here to share with you what they are doing to help our community pharmacies. I cannot say it enough. I absolutely love community pharmacy. Will do everything in my power to help you be successful. And that's why we've come up with these programs. So please reach out to us for additional details. We'll get you connected with any one of the wonderful solutions that you've heard about today. And there is still the first 10 sites to be a part of the pharmacy fund for setting up your own FOY or Fountain of Youth program. There's still a couple of spots open to be a part of that first initial 10, and then it'll just after we set up that first 10, then we'll set up the next 10. There's already about 8 that are in the process of being set up right now, and a couple that are already fully functioning. So I can tell you more about that and get you their contact information if you want to do any reach out to them and hear about their success with this. So again, thank you very much for being here today. Appreciate all of our presenters. You guys have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Thanks, Rick. Awesome stuff.
And reach out to me for any additional information. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.